Your body can feel fine, but your mind is dragging. It's like walking through life with weights tied to your thoughts. Heavy, constant, unrelenting. Overthinking is not just a habit. It's a hidden exhaustion. It's like running a race with no finish line, no pause, no celebration. You wake up more tired than when you went to sleep. Sleep doesn't reset you. Dreams blur into worries, and rest becomes just another place for your thoughts to echo. You lie in bed, and your mind starts sorting through every conversation, every expression, every silence. You question what you said, how you said it, what they meant, if you were enough. The worst part is that no one can see it. From the outside, you seem fine, normal, even calm. You smile when you need to, laugh when it's expected. But inside, your brain is never still. Scanning, analyzing, doubting, fixing, replaying. Did you seem awkward? Did they misunderstand you? Were you too much? Too quiet? Too eager? Too cold? You tell yourself to stop, to let it go. But your thoughts loop back before you even realize. It's like trying to stop a spinning wheel with your bare hands. It hurts. It spins anyway. You've learned to survive with distraction. Not rest, distraction. Music becomes your escape, a place where your thoughts can't talk as loudly. Scrolling numbs you. Talking to people can help, but only if the conversation is deep enough to silence your mind for a moment. Food, noise, movement, anything that keeps your brain from turning inward. But once the world goes quiet, once you're alone again, your thoughts return. And this time louder, sharper, like they were waiting for silence to scream. It's a quiet kind of tired, a hidden kind of ache. You could be surrounded by friends, smiling, laughing, but deep down you're second-guessing yourself. Did they really want you here? Did you make that joke at the wrong time? Do they even like you, or are they just being polite? You don't want to care. You wish you didn't care. But your brain won't stop whispering doubts. Even when things go right, you question them. You wonder when it will fall apart. You prepare yourself for imaginary rejection, imaginary disappointment, imaginary mistakes that haven't even happened yet. Even when you're doing nothing, you're doing everything internally. The mental gymnastics, the overanalysis, the self-correction, it all happens silently. No one notices. They see you being quiet, reserved, thoughtful. They have no idea you're carrying a mental storm behind your eyes. That you're exhausted, not from life, but from your own mind. Overthinking is invisible, but it's loud. And most of the time, it's lonely too. You feel misunderstood because no one sees the effort you put in just to be present, just to seem okay. You don't scream. You don't break down. You hold it in. You function. You perform. But every little thing feels heavier than it should. Every conversation, every text, every silence. It's not just noise in your head, it's pressure. Constant, silent pressure. That's the secret part of overthinking, the energy it drains, and the silence in which it hides. It doesn't show up in dramatic ways. It just lingers, quiet, heavy, daily. You're tired, but no one knows why. And that, in itself, makes it even more exhausting. Because you're not just carrying the weight of your thoughts, you're also carrying the weight of pretending they're not there. You reread texts, not just once, but multiple times, dissecting each word, each pause, each punctuation mark. You look for hidden meaning, for subtext, for signs that someone might be upset, annoyed, or pulling away. A simple "okay" can send your thoughts spiraling. Was it cold? Dismissive? Was there a shift in tone? You check when they saw your message, then second-guess whether replying too fast made you seem desperate, or too slow made you seem disinterested. You write replies, delete them, rewrite them, pause, and wonder if you're overthinking, and then you overthink that too. Conversations aren't just conversations. They become rehearsals. You play them out in your head before they happen, trying to anticipate every possible direction. You imagine what they might say and how you should respond. You prepare comebacks that never get used. You think of softer ways you could have said something hours after it's over. Your brain replays interactions like a director critiquing a performance. You revise the script in your mind again and again, even though the scene has already passed. It gives a strange sense of control, not real control, but the illusion of preparedness. It's exhausting, but you don't know how to stop. You notice everything. Phrases that other people forgot. Glances that lingered half a second too long. A sudden shift in tone. A delayed laugh. A distracted look. You hold on to these fragments not because you're trying to obsess, but because your mind files them away automatically. They become loops, repeating themselves when you're quiet, feeding the belief that something was off, that you missed something, that you said too much, or not enough. Overthinking is not just something you do. It's something that happens to you. This automatic, relentless. You didn't choose this habit, but it's become part of your inner wiring. It doesn't make you weak or dramatic. It's just the way your brain copes by scanning, analyzing, preparing, protecting. Sometimes it even helps. You catch things others miss. You read between the lines. You're careful, thoughtful, deeply aware. But it comes at a cost, your peace. This invisible habit hides in the ordinary. You look calm, maybe even quiet, but inside, it's chaos. Constant hum of thought. Worry disguised as logic. Fear dressed up as caution. It looks like stillness from the outside, but inside, it's a storm. It looks like focus, but it's actually fear. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of misunderstanding someone. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being too intense, too distant, too much, or worse, not enough. You become a mirror to everyone else's reactions. You measure yourself based on how they respond. A delayed reply becomes a signal. A short answer becomes proof. You tell yourself you're being silly, dramatic, paranoid. But the thoughts keep coming. You don't want to care so much. You wish you could just let go, move on, trust the moment. But trust doesn't come easily when your brain has been trained to look for what might go wrong. Then comes the next layer, the self-awareness. You think too much, and then you think about why you think too much. You question your own brain. Wonder if something's wrong with you, if you're broken. You try to be chill, to stop caring. But that only adds another pressure. Another voice telling you that you're failing at being okay. It's invisible. No one sees the loops, the editing, the inner dialogue, the weight. You carry it alone, quietly, while appearing perfectly fine. But it's there, in the pauses, the rewrites, the long stares into nothing. Overthinking isn't just a bad habit. It's a constant companion. And some days it's the loudest thing in the room. You call it normal, not because it feels easy, but because it's familiar. You've lived inside this rhythm of overthinking for so long that you don't know what silence sounds like anymore. You assume everyone's mind is like this, constantly spinning, searching, second-guessing. But sometimes you catch a glimpse of how others live. The way they seem to let go so easily. The way they sleep without a mind full of noise. The way they move on from awkward moments without rewinding them 100 times. And in those quiet observations, something stings. Because you realize this isn't everyone's normal. It's just yours. You find yourself envying people who forget, who don't replay old conversations in their heads, who don't feel like they have to earn their place in every room they enter. People who move through life lightly, who don't carry invisible weights. You wonder what it's like to feel that free, to not double-check every word, every text, every memory, to just be. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't something to fight. Maybe your mind is not broken. Maybe your overthinking comes from a place of deep awareness, from caring too much, from wanting to understand the world and the people in it with your whole heart. That's not weakness. That's empathy. That's sensitivity. That's depth. You feel more because you see more. You notice the small things. You remember the details. You pick up on shifts others don't. And though it's tiring, it's also part of what makes you beautifully human. Still, even with all this depth and empathy, you deserve peace. You deserve rest. Not just physical rest, but mental quiet. You deserve to stop carrying the burden of every moment, every mistake, every possibility. You deserve to breathe without needing to justify it. to exist without explaining your emotions, without proving your worth. You don't need to always be on, always analyzing, always preparing. Maybe it's time to loosen the grip. Just a little. Maybe tonight when the thoughts come, because they will, don't try to fight them. Don't try to fix them. Just notice them. Let them pass like clouds. You don't need to chase everyone. You don't need to solve them all. You can let them float by one, without following them into the storm. You can just watch and breathe. You are not your thoughts. You are the space they pass through. You are the calm underneath the noise, the sky behind the clouds. Thoughts come and go, but you remain, still, present, whole. There's a gentleness in letting go. Not forever, not completely, but just for now. Just long enough to feel your breath again, to feel the ground beneath your feet, to return to yourself. Not the version the world sees, not the one trying so hard to hold it all together, but the version that just exists. Quietly, honestly. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to justify peace. You don't have to explain why your mind feels heavy. You just have to pause. To allow stillness, even if it's brief. Even if it's messy. Because sometimes healing doesn't look like control. It looks like release. Like surrender. Like sitting with your thoughts without letting them define you. So maybe tonight, give yourself permission to stop spiraling. To stop performing, to stop carrying the weight of understanding everything. Maybe it's time to be soft, time to breathe, not perfectly, not silently, but gently. That's enough. You're enough. Even in the noise, even in the quiet. Maybe it's time to pause and just breathe.